everybody, I'm Lorii Abela. I'm your Asian matchmaker and soulmate expert. Welcome to tonight's episode of Matchmaker Secrets, where we talk about love, dating, and relationships, and of course, matchmaking. So I'm sure you have always wondered, what is the big glamour of being in Hollywood? All those relationships of different celebrities over there, and sometimes it can be nice, but sometimes it can be messy. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So maybe a lot of intrigues as well. Our guest is Miss Brooke Bennett, who is a Chicago-based actress, model, producer, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. In the last 15 years, Brooke has appeared in several commercials, independent films, stage plays, catalogs, and print ads. So upon relocating back to Chicago from Los Angeles, she opened Self-Tape Chicago Loop, an actress audition taping studio where she also coaches on-camera acting. Her recent on-screen credits include Chicago Fire, of course, The Chai, a national commercial for Tyson Chicken, and she just completed production on the faith-based feature film Christine Swager in a supporting role. So, hello, how are you, bro?
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. I think, it's been months since I saw you, and just glad to, you're able to come over here. So tell
Thank
us,
you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So tell us, living in Los Angeles before, how would you describe the dating scene in Hollywood in general?
Wow, okay. Well, I lived in Los Angeles a pretty long time, all my adult life. So yes, all my dating experiences in Los Angeles, which I wouldn't recommend, by the way. No. Well, just to give a little backstory, I moved to Los Angeles when I was 19, went to college there. I did move with a boyfriend. So he was from Chicago. And we were together for a few years, about 7 years. And when that ended, I was just graduating from college. And so I was on my own in LA dating for about 10 of those years. So it was interesting. It was, there's, what I can say about Hollywood is it's just a blend of so many people. You obviously have the celebrities, you have athletes, you have people from all over the world. It's just such a international cesspool of so many people. And so dating, it can be easy and hard. It's easy to meet people because there's so many people. So I would say I never had a problem meeting people. But staying in a or even getting to the point of a relationship was pretty hard. So I don't know what can I say specifically. In the end, I never met anyone that I could really build a relationship with. And dating was fun, but and it was fun for that age. I was mostly there in my 20s. But nothing really substantial came out of it. And this is my experience. Of course, it's not everyone's journey. But what I can say about LA is it's a great place to meet people, to have fun, to do things you could probably never do in any other place. Go to famous people's homes and have a famous chef, come cook. Things like that are amazing. That LA can be magical for that type of stuff. But as far as just having a substantial relationship, I never got to that place in LA. So.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not the only one who's having that situation because, I have a client. She's African American, and so she said that she only wanted an African American man.
Okay.
And she wants somebody who's 5'10" and above. So, her specific measurement is 6 feet.
Oh.
And so she said she has, has been having a difficulty finding somebody. So you have to remember that she's earning a lot of money because she's in real estate. And so, finding a guy who is like 6 feet, earning a lot of money, and good looking can be really challenging. And so, like, I was
really?
able to actually, I got lucky, because she's she's
Oh,
open
wow.
to having somebody from another state. I got,
Okay.
to introduce her with a guy who's an NFL player, and I was thinking like, okay, I got lucky with that because it's a challenge, whatever she's looking. Because how many people are 6 feet tall? You walk around the street, how many people can you see like walking the street 6 feet tall?
Really?
And
Oh,
so like,
wow.
how many maybe in California, in Los Angeles, you see a lot of people who have a lot of money, but and I would say like not a lot of people are very, very tall. And
Okay.
so tall and good looking.
Okay.
It's not the regular
Well, you know what?
norm.
I didn't have that experience. I met a lot of good-looking, tall, wealthy men. That was the problem. The problem wasn't finding them, but it was being able to really to keep them.
Yeah, so like, that's another thing. Like, they have to be relationship oriented. If
Yes.
they're not relationship
Yes.
oriented, like,
And that's what I
it's not
feel.
just about how tall they are and then
Exactly.
how like good looking they are and how much money they have in their wallet.
Right.
But, are they the keeper? If they're
Right.
not the keeper, then like, doesn't make sense because like, there's no sense for me to be introducing them to those people who are not going to be delivering what they're supposed to be delivering, a relationship that will be lasting for
Yeah.
the lady. And so, yeah, it's and I used to live in New York, and then this thing, like, the same thing, like, the same situation that you have, like, you have all those people in banking, and then like those people who are earning a lot of money, and they have their different investments, and the thing is that they might be very, very good looking, but relationship is quick over there, quick.
Quick.
quick. Next.
I would say
next.
LA
So
is
too
everyone
many-
is really
yeah,
quick.
Too many first time dates.
Yeah.
That's it. And so I think like California and New York, they have the same kind of thing that's going on. And I'm glad you moved over here.
Me too. Me too.
Okay. So I know that you have been there for a long time. So
Yeah.
how was it for single women, considering that there are many beautiful women and there are more women than men? How was that for you? It's competitive?
You know what? I didn't feel the competition. Like I said, there are a lot of men there. People are always moving there. So I didn't feel a competition of too many women, But of course, men do have a lot of choices there, and that probably makes it harder for women like me, that are oriented like me. I'm not the type to just date and go into a physical relationship really quickly. And a lot of the women there are. So it makes it harder for me to sustain a relationship when I'm not ready to move that quickly, when a lot of other women are. So, even I dated a celebrity. I can't say his name because he's a huge star now. But back then, this is like 10 years ago, he was he only done a couple movies and a couple TV shows, so he wasn't huge. I mean, everyone knew who he was, but now he's like Oscar type person. But back then, and I really liked him. We met through a mutual friend of mine I went to high school with here, and that was his roommate at the time. And so I got to spend time with him as a friend through our mutual friend, and then we decided to date on our own without our friend around. And really quickly, it turned to, well, let's get physical. And it's like, hold on, we've only been around each other as friends. We need to really date and go through a process. And he didn't want to do that, and it ended just so abruptly, and I was so upset about it. But I realized he's becoming famous, and he's used to women just accommodating what he wants sexually, really quickly, and I wasn't. So I was out.
Yeah.
So I think that happens a lot, where men have these expectations because women set the standard of being sexually oriented really quickly. So
Yeah, so like, you can also blame it on the women because like, they were just like saying like, okay, come on over, I'm here. And so, yeah, that's a problem. It's the same thing in New
Yeah.
York. So like
Yeah.
everybody is just saying like, okay, maybe you just met them on the day and then they say like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
can I go to your home? And I was thinking like, oh, wow, that's hilarious. Because like, because if you don't put on the brakes, then like, okay, they're in your home. So like, you have to
Right.
be very cautious as well because like even though like you will just like actually have a lot of communication prior to meeting, maybe you met online, doesn't count because it's different when you are actually meeting up and then having the process that you were saying. It's a process. It's not like, everything is quick. And so like
Right.
that's the reason why a lot of our relationships just ends quickly as well. Like
Yeah.
even those people who are getting married, their relationship is quick as well because they didn't have that chance to actually get to know each other much more.
Right.
So speaking of marriage, so what do you
Okay.
think about the idea that some celebrities can have as much as 4 or more marriage in their lives?
I see why it happens, especially in Los Angeles. They just meet so many people, and they're in so many. They're in the eye of the world, right? So they're exposed to almost anybody. You know what I mean? They travel the world. So I understand that dynamic of why they get married to so many people or have so many marriages is because they are exposed to so many people. People know them, and it's easy to develop something when people already have a sense of familiarity with a celebrity, And so I do know a few. I know a few celebrities that have had a few marriages, and it did surprise me. Like, wow, because I'm single, I've never been married, and here they are on their like third husband or something. But I think it's just because it's just their life is so fast, so everything is just kind of fast, and like I said, it's just I think when you're just on that level of celebrity, so you have a certain level of attraction, and you attract a lot of people, and I think they just kind of go through relationships because they don't build that foundation first to really have something that sticks. And by the time they know it, their jobs are keeping them apart, and they're on to the next already. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad for celebrities to date other celebrities or other people in the business. It didn't work for me. I'm an actor, and I dated actors, and those were the worst relationships. So I wouldn't do that again, really.
Okay. Well, at least you have stated that, like, I won't date any more celebrity again.
But you never know. I mean, maybe when I get to a certain level, and it's just certain things you have to know to accept and be willing to sacrifice. And so I don't know. We'll see if that time comes, if I meet the right person that is on that level, But I don't know. I think it could be good and bad, because at least they do know each other and the lifestyle, what comes with it. Because if you are a celebrity and you're dating a non-celebrity, they don't understand, the lifestyle, and so they'll probably feel disregarded in some sense. So I don't know. I might give it another chance, but but from my experience, I wouldn't do it again.
So, do you think those people who, the celebrity friends of yours who married several times, do you think they're happy?
It's so hard to know if someone's really happy. I don't know. People can act like they're happy for a long. People I thought were happy ended up getting a divorce a month later. Sometimes it just comes out of nowhere. When I thought they were happy, this one couple I know, they were together 15 years, and then it was just over one day when all of us and all our mutual friends, we thought they were happy. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about that because, like, the royal families are not in the limelight, in the sense that they're not celebrities who are in the Hollywood, but they're in a sense also some celebrities. So when you think about it, like Prince Charles, who was married to Lady Di, so it's hilarious because like obviously they were not happy, but people thought they were happy, and so. Camila and Prince Charles had a relationship, so we don't know if they're happy now because she's always probably been compared to the old, the woman who died, the princess, Prince Diana.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing with Meghan and Harry. We don't know. Maybe they're not happy, or they may be really happy. Who knows? Because when you think about it, like they're not now the talk of the town. And then that can put pressure in your relationship because everybody's talking about you. And then sometimes you'll be thinking did I really make the right decision? Because everybody's just saying that, this is not the best relationship for me. And so, everybody has their own perspective. But I just want to make sure that, that particular angle is covered because happiness, you cannot bring back time.
Right.
You cannot just be going back to your 20 years old and then date as many men as you can. It's different. So I know we talk about those people who marry many times, but how about those celebrities who kept on marrying, but they're always picking someone who is way, way younger all the time? They're like Mark Anthony, like Madonna, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot, of course. It's hard to say what's really real, and I just think everyone, they have their own journey, and that dynamic happens a lot because there's just a ton of young women in LA, and they actually like older men. Like it's my own cousin. She's around my age, and her husband's in his 70s, and that's the LA dynamic.
How old is she?
She's about 35.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
did they have children?
No.
No. Okay.
They've been married about 5 years, and but it's normal. That's normal there.
Okay, all right. I have to just clarify that if they have children, because there are some instances in the matchmaking world, people who are 60s, 70s, they want to meet somebody who's young.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just for the sake of having a child. Probably they still want a child, but sometimes they just want to have a trophy feature in their life. So that's the reason why they want to have somebody who is going to be the star of the whole event or whatever, showing up in their house. Oh my God. And so you were still young when you were still there. So did you had some people like that, way older than you, trying to snoop on you or something?
Oh, definitely trying.
Definitely
But
trying.
that was, it just, you know what? My first relationship, when I moved there, he was much older. I was 18 and he was in his 40s.
But did you know that beforehand, or he didn't tell you right away?
Oh yeah, I knew.
Okay.
I knew. So I was with it when I was really young. But then I got older. Yes, a lot of mature men did try to get with me, 60s, 70s, and I just didn't really go for it. So now I'm at that age where 40s, 50s, that's more where I want to be, because I am thinking about family, and maybe, I don't know, we'll see. I'm not dating for the purpose of having kids, but I am thinking about that when looking for a mate.
Well, yeah, I would imagine your mom would like to have a grandchild somehow.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe she was thinking how come you live in Los Angeles? There are too many men over there. You didn't even get to meet somebody.
Right. I know.
So tell us what made you decide to come back to Chicago?
Wow. Well, that is a loaded question because it's a lot of reasons.
You were not hiding from the 70-year-old man, right?
Not a 70-year-old man, but I was running away from a man. So I was in a relationship for about 2 years. This was in LA. This was just one of those totally, or you could almost call it a typical LA relationship, where I was just completely lied to for the whole 2 years, just about, just who he was, and not that money and things like that really mattered, because I really liked him. But he decided to keep up this whole lie that he was this from African royalty and things like that. And,
It's like a movie, huh?
yeah, it really could be. But I bought it for about 2 years, I kept trying to get him to tell me the truth, but he swore, who he was, and that all this money was gonna just come pour on us and we'll be fine. And but meanwhile, I was carrying us. And then unfortunately, it got to the point where it became physically abusive.
Oh.
And it was just one time, but that was it. That was all that was enough. It was bad enough where I was hospitalized, and he was arrested right away, and he was facing 12 years in prison. So it was bad. I didn't go through with the court process of, in California, it's the state against the defendant, not me. But I was a witness in my own abuse. So they wanted me there in court. And I showed up a couple times, but when it was time for the jury and everything, I was just too scared, because he did threaten me and my family if he went to jail for a long time. So I didn't go through with it, so he is out free. And my parents and I just thought it would be better for me to be away from that environment, So I came back home, but not just because of that. I wanted to be back home anyway, because things were just going really well for me here. As far as my acting, I had an agent here before I moved back here. So even when I was in Los Angeles, I had a Chicago and Atlanta-based agent. So I was getting a lot of work more in the Midwest and the East, and so it just made sense. It just made sense for me to be here, be away from the drama of that relationship, and since we're talking about dating, I definitely figured I'm at that age, because I moved here when I was like 36 or 35, and it was just time to get serious about finding a more stable, grounded relationship, right? So I definitely thought Chicago would be a better landscape for that than Los Angeles, than the 10 years of running around with child men in life. So the move here has been really good. Okay. It's been healing from my situation, and work has been great. I opened an acting studio here, so I'm an acting coach, and I'm currently on The Shy. So that airs in July. So I'm on a new TV show. Like, everything I wanted to do in LA is happening here. So it was a great move.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And so I'm just glad that you had the courage to leave that relationship, because otherwise, I didn't know that the abuse was physical. It's not verbal, but verbal can be hurting, and it's also problematic, but physical can be dangerous.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I acknowledge you for, leaving that, because not a lot of people are gonna take their stand in order to leave. Mm-hmm. But you as an individual realize, okay, it's time for me to leave, and so that's great.
Well, I didn't have a choice. I mean, it was to the point where I was seconds away from not being here anymore.
Yeah.
And so the police, when they arrived, they just immediately started packing my things. It was like no question. Like, I had to get out. I was about to die. Yeah. So they made me move out right away. My parents found out, so that I had no choice. I couldn't stay with him.
So the guy was
he went
also
to jail,
a celebrity?
So.
The guy was also a celebrity?
He was not like a celebrity where a lot of people would know him, where the public would know him, but he was more like the celebrity, where all the famous people knew him because he worked in production, and so people did know who he was, yeah.
Okay, all right. Just want to find out because, like,
Yeah.
obviously, like, you also have a lot of different influences there. Like, you know, the cannabis has just been open everywhere. So, you know, I was thinking maybe that's also one idea that can actually get into people's mind. Like, okay, let's try this thing, and then they can actually harm others because of that. And so, yeah, I just, you know, confirming that.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about now the dating scene in Chicago as compared to Los Angeles?
Well, I think because of my situation leaving Los Angeles, I didn't really come here right away looking for a relationship. But they always say that's when you find it, right? When you're not looking. So I did meet someone within the first few months of being here. And everything seemed great. We met in a really great circumstance and we dated for a few months and it went extremely well. And I felt just really good about the move period. I was like, oh my gosh, all I had to do is come home and I meet the man of my dreams. But unfortunately, during the beginning stages of our dating, a health complication happened and he decided he wanted to go through that journey alone. And, you know, so we just became friends and I don't know. Well,
So he has a health problem?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he did. You know, he's recovering and he's doing better, but I guess he decided he still wants to be single. So,
Okay, all right.
I don't know. So we're friends. And since that didn't go the way I wanted, it did open me up to date, and I didn't really. It's not going. The dating scene is better here. If you're comparing Chicago to LA, it is better here to me. I feel like the dating pool is a lot more stable and grounded, and I do like that. So I am meeting great people, but since that situation, I haven't really met someone who has really excited me in that way. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I do like it better here.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends do. Some of my clients, I have celebrity clients that moved here because they're filming like on a show on Chicago Fire or something, and they had to live here for months, and they like it. And so they moved from LA too, you know, because I'm here. They're like, girl, we got to find some real men. So they moved here. It's so funny. So I definitely do think it's a huge difference between dating in LA and dating here. And a lot of women notice it, you know, so there are more women moving here. You know, I know Chicago has a lot of things going on, there's violence and all that, but but it's still a better place to be, I think,
Yeah.
if you want a family and you're more oriented for a long-term relationship.
Yeah. As long as you don't get into a relationship with somebody who's a fleet of cars, but they're all stolen. I'm just joking.
How did you know that was the guy in LA? Oh my goodness.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm supposed to be the king of something.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh my God. Unbelievable.
Yeah, LA is unbelievable.
I can't believe that. Well, you can create your own autobiography and then like have a movie about that. Anyway, you're in that industry.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, people do want to turn my life into a screenplay, but I'm like, I don't know how that's going to end yet.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so tell us like what are you exactly looking for in a guy now?
Oh my goodness. Well, I can say now, I'm not the type like the woman you mentioned earlier. She's like, I need 5'10". I'm beyond that because height, you know, I just like just a man that's just honest and you know, just really basic things. No. These are actually I'm more into the more things that really make up a person's character. Honesty is definitely big for me. Someone who just wants a stable life, who you know, it's also for me about connection. You know, I don't really know about every single thing they have to have, but do we connect, you know, and is that chemistry there? And they definitely have to be spiritual. I want my relationship to glorify God, you know, that's definitely important for me. I can't say that about any relationship in LA, that it, you know. So yeah, spiritually minded, but connection is a big thing. You
And
know?
no height requirement.
Not really, you know.
As long as they're
I attract
spiritual.
really tall men anyway. I don't know why. I'm so short, but apparently tall men like really short women. So yes, I do like a good height, but I'm not going to put that in my must-haves. You know, it's more about, do they have integrity? Do they are they loyal? Just things that make up their own character are and even for me, I'm still growing and I'm becoming, I think, the person that I want to be that deserves that type of man, you know? So I'm making sure I'm that type of woman, you know? I'm making sure I'm loyal, I'm honest, I'm spiritually grounded. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working on myself right now and just hoping that I attract what I'm becoming. So
Okay, I'm sure it's gonna happen. This is where I found my husband after like looking for a long, long time over there in New York. So, because I said to myself, like, you know, look at this. Like, seems like this city is family oriented. You can see a lot of children in the Millennium Park, and I was thinking, like, oh wow, I don't see that much in Central Park. And so, yeah, I said to myself, okay, this is where I found my husband. So,
Really? Wow.
like, I have a follow-up question. You said like spiritual.
Okay.
Are you okay with somebody who's much more spiritual than you? Because it can be extreme as well. Like, you know, they're very, very, you know, much more spiritual than you. So let me ask you that.
I don't mind that. It's funny because the type of person I'm interested in, like I have my wish list of like, he just got divorced, so it's okay now. Like Devon Franklin, he's a minister, you know, and I love that about him. But he's still, you know, he's still a cool guy. He's a film producer, and but that actually is what attracted me to someone like him, because he is a minister of God, and I like that.
Okay,
I
all
like
right.
that,
So that's
yeah.
understandable. I just want to confirm, because last time we had a guest over here, the same thing. He's looking for somebody who is, he's always talking about God. And then I was
Okay.
thinking like, okay, I think like in the wrong channel over here. It should be like there's another channel for this TV show which is about religious stuff. And so like, I think it's the
I
wrong
mean, there
channel.
has to be a balance. I want a balance. They don't have to be like speaking God every 5 minutes, you know. But just, you know, just to have that spiritual base, that faith base,
Okay.
you know, that's what is definitely important.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, you know, I hope that we can have more time talking to you. Like, you know, it was fun. But anyway,
Yeah, thank you so
And for
much.
those people who are watching over here, if you are an expert on love, dating, and relationships, we want to have you over here in the show. And if you are single and navigating through the dating scene, just let us know, because we want to also have you over here. So maybe we can help you somehow. And I see you again next time. Thank you so much again,
Thank
Brooke.
you.
All right, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.